Welcome to the Property Code. I'm your host, Nick. Today, we explore the world of real estate developers and how they create value and profit in 2025, following the journey of Aisha, a former civil engineer who decided to build her own development firm after noticing vacancy rates in suburban office parks. Along the way, we'll uncover the strategies that turn raw land and neglected properties into thriving communities, and why the search term how to become a real estate developer remains one of the most in-demand questions among aspiring investors. Aisha's story began on a sunny spring morning when she drove past an empty two-story office complex on the edge of a growing commuter suburb. The building had been shuttered for years, yet new light rail plans promised increased connectivity in 2025. As she parked and walked the overgrown parking lot, she pictured modern loft offices, ground-floor cafes, and shared co-working spaces catering to remote teams and satellite branches. She knew that developers who could identify these underutilized assets and reimagine their use stood to capture outsized returns. Her first step was to learn the rules of the game. She enrolled in a specialized online course on real estate development, one that ranked highly for the query, "How to become a real estate developer." The curriculum covered entitlement processes, zoning variances, and pro forma modeling. Armed with these fundamentals, she formed a limited liability company with two trusted colleagues, one with finance expertise and another experienced in construction management. Together, they pledged $10,000 each as seed equity and began pitching local family offices and accredited investors to round out their funding pool. In 2025, crowdfunding platforms for development pose a powerful alternative to traditional capital raising. Aisha hosted a presentation on a reputable equity crowdfunding site highlighting her engineering background, her data-driven site selection, and her commitment to sustainable design. She offered fractional stakes starting at $5,000, attracting 25 individual backers who collectively provided 40% of the equity required. The remainder came from two local family investors seeking exposure to adaptive reuse projects. With equity secured, Aisha negotiated a construction loan with a regional lender. She presented detailed AI-generated market analytics showing that average rents for creative office space in her target suburb were rising by nearly 7% annually, driven by corporate decentralization and hybrid work trends. The bank agreed to finance 65% of hard costs at a floating rate indexed to the 10-year Treasury plus 2.5%. Thanks to her seasoned team's equity cushion, she maintained a healthy debt-to-cost ratio, which lenders in 2025 still consider a key risk measure. Entitlements followed. Aisha worked closely with the city planning department to secure a mixed-use zoning amendment. In exchange for dedicating 15% of the new units to affordable co-working memberships, she earned density bonuses that allowed her to add 5,000 extra square feet of leasable space. Local officials appreciated her proposal to include green infrastructure, bioswales to manage stormwater, a solar-ready roof system, and electric vehicle charging stations. Aligning with the municipality's sustainability goals, construction commenced under clear autumn skies. To combat supply chain volatility, Aisha's construction manager contracted with nearby modular construction factories. Prefabricated panels arrived on schedule, cutting build time by nearly 20% versus traditional site-built methods. A mobile app-based project management platform allowed investors to track progress in real time, view drone-captured images of each completed floor, and review budget reports. In 2025, transparency and technology are non-negotiable in maintaining investor confidence. As the soft loft offices took shape, Aisha marketed spaces through a hybrid digital campaign. She partnered with a co-working brand to pre-lease the ground floor cafe and community hub. Virtual reality tours, accessible via smartphone, let prospective tenants customize their office layouts and preview smart building features such as keyless entry and integrated energy dashboards. Within 6 weeks of launch, more than 80% of the office square footage was under letter of intent agreements, with rental rates 10% above initial underwriting. Closing out construction, Aisha's team refinanced the project by replacing the higher-cost construction loan with a 10-year fixed-rate term mortgage at just under 5%. They reduced annual debt service and locked in a predictable financing cost. This move freed up cash flow to pay a first preferred return to equity investors and allowed the company to book an early profit on infrastructure incentives provided by the local transit authority. Aisha's net internal rate of return on equity approached 25% in the first 2 years, surpassing her original projections. She reinvested profits into a sister site nearby, another underperforming retail strip adjacent to a university campus, applying the same model of adaptive reuse, modular construction, and digital marketing. By 2025, her firm managed multiple projects in various stages, each leveraging sustainable design, PropTech efficiencies, and community partnerships. What lessons can future developers draw from Aisha's success? First, thorough site analysis is essential. Use AI-powered data to uncover underappreciated assets. Second, assemble a multidisciplinary team, finance, construction, design, and civic relations to streamline every phase. Third, embrace modern construction methods and digital transparency to manage costs and maintain investor trust. Fourth, align projects with broader trends such as hybrid work, sustainability, and smart city infrastructure to secure incentives and ensure market demand. Finally, structure financing in stages: equity, construction debt, permanent financing, to optimize cost of capital and deliver timely returns to investors. Becoming a real estate developer today requires more than capital. It demands vision, technical expertise, and strategic partnerships. By adapting to 2025's innovations, from fractional equity crowdfunding to AI analytics and modular builds, aspiring developers can transform neglected properties into vibrant communities and deliver compelling returns. That's the path from engineer or analyst to developer, and it's more accessible than ever for those willing to learn and lead. Thank you for listening to The Property Code. If you found this episode enlightening, please subscribe, leave a review. Until next time, stay strategic and keep building the future.